What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the markets didn't do so well today. We had the S&P and the Dow go down 0.9%. We had the NASDAQ 100 down 1.2%, and we had the Russell down 0.3%. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down some technicals, going over some stocks to buy now, and I also want to share with you all how I'm navigating this market as we've seen a bit of volatility as of late. So if you all find value, hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to go down below, get $30 from M1 Finance, $10 from Coinbase, check out the free Discord chat, and you all could check out my Patreon. Again, all of those are linked down below. So let's talk, guys. Again, today was pretty volatile, and it wasn't until about 1 p.m. on the East Coast. In fact, it was smooth sailing up until 1 p.m., and we can see here on the 5-day, 5-minute, before we go over what caused this drop, we can see there was an inverse head and shoulder forming here on SPY. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and we were that, well, not we, I mean SPY, the inverse head and shoulder, was intact until we got that massive drop. And when we got that big drop, we actually broke the neckline of the inverse head and shoulder, meaning it's pretty much useless at this point, right? And if we pull up this 20-day chart, you guys can see overall, you can see that on a more broad basis, or a larger time frame rather, and it's easier to see. And if the inverse head and shoulder were to play out today, we would have filled up to about 417, maybe 418, and maybe we would have broke out of that. But obviously that did not happen, and we ended up getting some news about President Biden proposing a capital gains tax increase for the wealthy as high as up to 43.4%. And if I pull up the live news tab here, and I really advise you all to do this as well, let me move my face to see if you all can see this. You can see all the news down here, right? You can see 43.4%, and that's capital gains tax. And you can see the previous one was at 39.6%, so it looks like he's upping the proposal a bit, and that might be freaking the markets out. You know, people that are super wealthy, they could be locking in some gains right now, getting out of stocks, raising up some cash, and that caused a ton of volatility. And you can see the crazy volume spike. Actually, you probably can't see it. Let me move my face, guys. Almost forgot. There we go. You can see the massive volatility spike. Take a look at that. That is one heck of a volume spike on this drop here. So moving forward, I want to see what SPY is going to do in terms of 410 to 412, right? That is a big support stemming from yesterday and a couple of days ago, pretty much all of this month. Well, not all of the month of April, but the past couple of days here in April. So I'm thinking if 411 holds 412, which it is as of now at the market close, I'm not sure if that's going to last, but if it holds, maybe we do see a recovery from this drop. You know, as the market digests this, maybe it takes a couple days, maybe it happens tomorrow. That's one scenario, right? We end up popping from 412 and maybe going back to 415, 417, but the second we break 412 on SPY, 411, 410, right? That general area, I just extended that, you can see, we're probably going to end up going down to about 407, 407.30, 407.50, right around there. So watch out for that when it comes to SPY. Pulling up QQQ, you guys can see this is not looking so great either. We failed at 339, 340. We dumped off to about 335, 336, and that is where we're holding. And let me tell you, we're pretty much hanging on by a thread, because the second we break 335, this thing's going to drop. It's probably going to go to 332, followed by 329, and who knows, we might get a sell-off Friday tomorrow. That could be possible, and this news could leak into tomorrow, meaning the sell-off could continue into tomorrow, and we'll see what the futures are looking like pre-market. And of course, we cover all that stuff every single day, every morning, shall I say, on Patreon. Shout out to all you guys that are in the top tier on Patreon. You guys are awesome. So we'll talk about that tomorrow morning. And as of now, yeah, we're going to be looking at QQQ, SPY. We're going to be monitoring the VIX heavily. The VIX went up 7% today. That's a pretty good day for the VIX. Volatility was definitely here, and there was some fear in the market, so it makes sense that that went up. And would you take a look at that? Gold and silver, they broke even, and that is why I advocate, and I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. You guys know I'm not a financial advisor, but I think it's wise to have a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, because it kind of adds some stability to the portfolio, and you're diversifying outside of stocks, outside of paper assets, right? You're getting some tangible, well, it depends how you invest in gold, but that's a whole different story. And oh, by the way, if you guys didn't see my inflation video, I actually show you all my gold collection. Check that out. I'll link it down below. That was from yesterday. Make sure to go watch it if you haven't done so already. So now that we broke down the market, let's talk about some stocks. 3 earnings reports today I want to go over. Then we'll talk about 4 other stocks afterwards. One of them reports earnings tomorrow, so make sure you guys stick through this video. Number 1, we have Intel, ticker symbol INTC. This company did not do so well, let's put it that way. Well, it hasn't been the past couple of days, and today dropped even more, especially after hours. You guys can see it was about $68 a couple days ago on the 13th, 12th of this month of April, and now it's sitting at $60. It closed at $62.50 today, and now it's at $60 after hours, so it's down a good $2 and some change after hours here. And they did EPS of $1.39 versus $1.14, so they beat EPS, and revenue also beat. Revenue came in at $18.6 billion versus $17.9 billion estimated. And where I think they're falling a bit, well, why they're falling a bit is because they expect full year 2021 revenue of $72.5 billion versus the $72.8 billion estimated. So a bit soft there on the revenue guidance, and EPS is right in line with estimates for full year 21 at about $4.60. So that's definitely one reason I'd say this is falling. The guidance coming in below estimates, and now that I'm reading the live news tab here, it says the company issued Q2 EPS guidance below estimates, so that's probably another reason why the stock is falling. And we're seeing some volatility in other chip stocks after hours. We'll talk about AMD here in a second, but overall, Intel, I'm watching this closely. You know, I don't have a position in this one quite yet, and I might not even add one. I might not. There's only so much money that could go around, guys. I mean, I don't have infinite money where I can just throw money in every single stock, but I'm going to be monitoring it, right? I'm going to be watching this uptrend. I mean, it already broke the 50 and the 180 moving averages, so it's not really in an uptrend anymore. But then again, you could argue it is, since it is holding this trend line. But the bears, let's put it this way, the bears, they're gaining steam. The fact that we're about to see a death cross as well, 50 SMA crossing under the 180 SMA, that's not good either. So, I mean, guys, this is, it's going to be volatile. Let's put it that way. And keyword is might, be able to see some sort of snapback play, because another point worth mentioning is we are oversold and we are a bit, dragged down here after hours. So maybe we do pop up. That's really something I'm waiting to see in the pre-market session. You know, if we hold 60 tomorrow morning, maybe we end up seeing a nice move to the mid-60s. So Intel, I'm watching this. Snapchat, they also just reported earnings, ticker symbol SMAP. You guys can see the volatility on this one after hours. It closed at $57. It closed down 2% on the day, and they reported earnings. The stock went down to $53, and it spiked all the way back to $61 or up to $61. That was a 12% swing, and now it's at about $60, sitting comfortably. Let's put it that way. And they did EPS of 0, literally 0.00 versus negative 5 cents estimated. So they beat EPS, and revenue also beat at $769.58 million versus $743.01 million. So double beat there for Snapchat. And you guys know the biggest, arguably the biggest, in my opinion, it is one of the most important, let's put it this way, one of the most important metrics for these types of companies, Snapchat, Pinterest, Facebook, One of the biggest metrics is daily active users, also known as DAUs, and that came in for Q1 at 280 million. So they came in at 280 million, and that is up 22% year over year. So that's pretty strong growth considering, Snapchat's been around for a while. I don't want to call it an old business by any stretch of the imagination, but it's been around for 10 years at this point, and I'm not sure, I forget when it went public, but it's been around for quite some time. So the fact that it's growing still 20+% year over year, that is pretty good. And you guys can see they issued Q2 guidance. What was that? Q2 guidance, they see 820 to 840 million versus 826 million in revenue. So that beat, right? So that's a good sign. That's probably another reason why the stock is moving. So Snapchat, I like it. It's moving, and I have an alert at $65 per share. That's well under where it is right now. You guys can clearly see that. So I'm looking to see if we take out this 50 moving average here on the 4-hour chart at about 61.50. So I'm going to set another alert. And hear me out here, guys. If we break 61.50 on Snapchat right here, I think we might be able to make a short-term move to my next alert at $65, which would be a nice $3 to $4 per share, or about 5 to 6% if we were to fill this gap right here. And there's a reason why I have an alert at $65, because if it breaks $65, there's going to be a ton of momentum coming, probably to about $70 to $72 per share. That is where I think Snapchat could be headed. And do you guys see what I'm seeing right here? I don't know if you are, but I'll point it out to you anyway. It is the left and the head and the right shoulder. And what is that called? That's called an inverse head and shoulder, what you're seeing right here. We have the left shoulder right here. Let me draw it out. We got the head right here, and we have the right shoulder right here. So for this inverse head and shoulder to play out, we're going to need to break above not only $62, but 65 as well. And the right shoulder in this inverse head and shoulder would complete, I'm thinking, like I said before, anywhere from 70 to 72 to $73. So I like Snapchat here, watching it quite closely. And AT&T, shout out to the AT&T shareholders out there. I personally sold out of my AT&T a couple weeks ago, reinvested that money into Tesla, bought some GNOG, and I bought some Tattooed Chef. And just because I sold out of my AT&T does not mean I'm not rooting for the stock. I mean, I'm still rooting for the stock. I hope it does well. I hope all you guys in AT&T make a crap ton of money. And this earnings report today was pretty solid. EPS came in at 86 cents versus 78 cents estimated. That was a beat. And revenue also beat at $43.94 billion versus $42.69 billion estimated. So a double beat. And domestic HBO Max net additions equaled to about $2.7 million. And you all know what's going on right now in the business world. Well, in the streaming world, it's a streaming war out there. Let's put it that way. There's HBO Max, there's Disney, there's Netflix, there's Amazon Prime Video. I mean, and let me tell you guys, I have all of those. Believe it or not, I literally have all of those programs or all the streaming services. And out of all of them, my two favorite, I must admit, are Netflix. Of course, Netflix is great. Although recently I haven't been watching many shows on Netflix or movies at that. And I think HBO Max is a close second. And I also think Prime Video is slept on. And Disney's great. Don't get me wrong, Disney's great. I don't know. I don't really watch Disney movies anymore, to be honest. But for kids, excellent platform. And I know they have The Mandalorian. They have all these cool shows. I do have to watch those. I'm not going to lie. I haven't done so yet. But I think HBO Max is great. I think AT&T is going to do well with HBO Max. And as it gets rid of all the crap acquisitions it has made over the past couple of years. And let's be honest. I mean, AT&T is one of those companies out there. There's not I'm sure there's other companies that have messed up. But, on a big scale, AT&T made some bad acquisitions. And yeah, it's going to take some time to get rid of those and to deleverage that balance sheet because they have a lot of liabilities. But overall, this earnings report was solid, and I think in the short term, AT&T does have some upside to about $33 per share. That could be about 4 to 5% higher. It could be a 4 or 5% move from where we are right now. So shout out to AT&T. It's turning around. It's trying to move up, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I might hop into this as a trade, maybe. We'll see. I might not even force it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, turn of events, I'm thinking that's what's happening with AT&T. Facebook FB is another one. We called this out last week, if you guys remember, and I mentioned how 300, that was a support, but there was also more downside I mentioned, hence why this little oval or this little, it's not a circle, it's an oval, right? Hence why I drew that oval, because if we broke 300, like I was saying, which we did today, there's downside to about 285 to about 290, and I'm still sticking to that, guys, and I believe that dip on Facebook will be bought up. And plus, we have earnings coming up in 6 days from now on the 28th of April, and who knows if they do well with earnings, their daily active users are solid like Snapchat, they end up guiding up. This stock could have a nice bounce back and rally back into the 310s, 300s in no time. So I like this dip on Facebook. AMD, remember Intel, it's falling. Well, AMD is going up after hours. AMD's up about $0.50 after hours, and they report earnings in 5 calendar days from now. And technically speaking, AMD's been in a funk, right? We have an overall, it looks like head and shoulder here on the 4-hour chart. Let me show you guys what I'm seeing here. Not the prettiest looking head and shoulder, but it is one nonetheless. And you guys can see the right shoulder right here. We've been struggling for the past month and a half, anywhere from 75 on the lower end to about $83 to $82 on the higher end. We've been bouncing back and forth throughout that range, and now we're back to the bottom of the range at about $78, $79. So I think if this point can hold, let me show you all the 5-day, 5-minute. It has held $78, $79 over the past couple of days. I think there could be some upside, and even in the past 2 weeks, we've held $78, $79. I think there could be a nice move coming, especially with earnings coming up. If they do well with earnings, I think AMD could make its way back up to $83 to about $85, which if you guys saw, we were literally there. Was that earlier this week, guys? No, it was last week. What was that? On the 16th, we hit, or the 15th, we hit $85 per share. So AMD, watch out for it. I think there could be some upside leading into earnings. AXP, American Express, one of Warren Buffett's, or at least, yeah, he definitely still holds a lot of this stock, for at least last time I checked, guys. Who knows? I don't keep up with his moves as much as some of you guys probably do. But AXP, I believe it is one of his biggest holdings, and they're going to be reporting earnings tomorrow on the 23rd. Let me double check that. Tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. here on the Central Standard Time, not the East Coast, Central Standard Time. And I like the pattern that's forming on AXP. It looks like an ascending triangle. We're making higher lows into the resistance at about 150 to about 152. And I think overall, we could squeeze up to 151 from where we are now. That's about a couple bucks upside. We're talking 2.5%, 3%. And if they do well with earnings, maybe we get a squeeze out of 152 and see a leg up. That is definitely possible. That is what the chart is setting up for. And if you guys take a look, we've done that many times in the past. Look at this. We were in an ascending triangle late 2020 heading into 2021, and we ultimately broke out of 130. Saw a nice leg up to 150. Now we're doing the same exact pattern. Who's to say it doesn't see a leg up to the mid 150s, high 150s, maybe 160s. So AXP, I like the trend here overall, and I'm excited about what their earnings are going to be looking like. And the last one for today is GBTC, also known as the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And if you guys have been watching Bitcoin, a lot of the Bitcoin plays, it has not been pretty. Let's put it that way. It's been ugly. GBTC went down almost 10% today, and we're seeing an ascending triangle on this as well. We see resistance at about $58, but we're also uptrending into that, we're pretty oversold right now, and this could be a bounce back play. I'm not really buying the dip yet. Quite frankly, I think we might see a little bit more downside. I'm pulling up Coinbase right now. Let's see what Bitcoin is currently at. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's been selling off. Ethereum, last time I checked, was holding solid. Yeah, Ethereum's up as of now for the day. It's up 1.4%. That's pretty interesting, right? And Bitcoin on the day is down 5% right now, almost 6%. It's sitting at 52,000. So if you believe that people are going to buy up this Bitcoin dip, and pull up the yearly chart. I don't have the yearly chart on Bitcoin right now, but pull it up. If you all see, maybe you can see it on my phone. Let me see this. Look at this, guys. This is simply a mere pullback on the Bitcoin chart. I'm not sure if you can see my screen right here, but this is a mere pullback. This could easily be bought up, and I think there's a decent chance it is bought up. It's down about $12,000 from the high. That's about a 15 to 20% drop. So if we get that dip buy in Bitcoin, you better believe GBTC is going to go up. So we might be able to see a move back to the high 40s, low 50s on GBTC. And we also have Coinbase. You know, Coinbase is going to do well, which I'm getting slammed on right now, but I might average down. Well, I probably will average down. I'm just waiting when. I bought at about 330. Now it's at 295. I'll probably start buying if it gets to 285 and under tomorrow. No doubt about it, I'll buy more of Coinbase. And we have Mara getting slammed. You know, Riot is getting slammed. These are a couple of crypto plays. So these are on my radar for sure right now as bounce back plays. And I'd love to know what you guys are doing. Let me know down below in the comments stocks you're watching. And if you want me to break down any stocks, comment them down below. And if you all enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure to join that free Discord chat down below. Get yourself $30 from M1 Finance and $10 from Coinbase. That's literally free. All of those are down below. And you all can check out my Patreon for more in-depth access to me, content every single day, exclusive content, and you all get buy and sell alerts real time every time I make a move, and you get call outs throughout the day of stocks that I like, chart setups that I like. So check that out. That is on Patreon, link down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe out there, guys. Keep crushing the markets. Peace out.